And so sometimes the unknown sometimes scares us a little bit. But then when you actually see the plan and you start to work it out, it's like, oh, I get it. I understand it. Boom. But now when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know the plan. I don't know what the plan is, fellas. I'm trying to figure out the plan. And look, so last year my favorite team was the Minnesota Vikings. Every year I pick a favorite team.
I was about to say, okay.
Yeah, last year was the Minnesota Vikings. And one of the reasons why, because my college quarterback is their head coach, Kevin O'Connell. So love the dude. It's my guy. I send him shoot him a text, when they win, and they go get him next time if they lose. But, obviously haven't shot him a text since he lost Kirk Cousins this week. But the Minnesota Vikings made it a trade this morning when I thought the news would slow down. Right, when I thought that the Keenan Allen being traded from the Chargers to the Bears was enough last night, that would get me through the weekend. Nope. On my drive on the 405 down here to the luxurious Rich Eisen Studios here. The trade, the Vikings decided to send, they wanted a first-round pick. They wanted that Texans first-round pick. That is pick 23. So they were able to get the Texans 23 overall pick, and they got a 7th-round pick. But in exchange, they gave the Texans 2 number 2s and 1 6th-rounder. There's a number 2 this year and the 6th-round pick this year. And in 2025, they'll also give that Texans their 2nd-round pick. Everybody's saying that, guess what now? The Minnesota Vikings, they've got picks. They've got 11. They've got 23. They have an opportunity to trade up in the draft now. They've got draft capital. They can trade up maybe even to number 3. Who stands at number 3, by the way, right now, Brockman?
Pats.
The Pats.
Pats are sitting at number 3.
They're at 3.
We need a quarterback, too.
You do need a quarterback.
So what are we doing?
Trying to figure it out. So there you have it. Okay, the Minnesota Vikings with 2 picks now in the first round. Pick 11, pick 23. Probably going to need a little bit more for them to have to get up to number 3. And is that enough for Elliott Wolf? See, I like to say that now. The general manager for the New England. Unofficially, officially. They're doing things different in New England
Director
now.
of Scouting, I think, is his official title. Yeah, but if you're New England, you do this deal. You do say the ones that I'm seeing proposed this morning were 11 and 23, and then a 2025 first rounder, and then maybe another kind of 4th-round pick on top of that. So 4 total picks, 3 total number 1s, 2 this year to trade down and give Minnesota number 3 so they can take Drake May. That's the kind of the betting odds
I would do the deal.
You would do the deal?
Oh, I would do the deal. Absolutely do the deal. Because we're talking about the new direction of the New England Patriots. I think that getting a quarterback for them is not what they need to rebuild that roster. Okay.
Yeah, bad roster.
It's a bad roster. Yeah. That's what proved last. We can mask it and say, you know what? It was the quarterback. I don't think it was all about Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi and those guys. I think really we saw a really bad New England roster. And now to have, if they were able to make this trade and have 11, 23, and then a first rounder for the following year, think about who their new head coach is. Gerard Mayo.
Yep.
Linebacker. You say, okay, let's do it this way. But then I am a guy who has recency bias and say, well, I did see the last rookie linebacker head coach in the league stand on business and draft a quarterback at 2.
And then trade back up
and get Will Anderson.
Get a linebacker at 3.
So DeMeco Ryans and the Texans went out and said, you know what? We do need the quarterback. We got C.J. Stroud, and then you got Will Anderson. Both, by the way, Will Anderson, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year. C.J. Stroud, offensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
All right, DeMeco Ryans, 2nd in coach of the year vote. Like, they nailed it, hit a home run. So I'm trying to figure out, as I look at both sides of it, that New England's in, okay? Because I feel like Minnesota is trying to get up. This week, the Vikings sold me. And this is why I have to stop believing sometimes what people are saying in the press conferences. Because then you start to believe. You drink the Kool-Aid. I got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Because just as much as they told me that Sam Darnold is a guy who they targeted and he's their guy and has his best football in front of him, when you make a trade like this with Houston and now gain opportunity to make another trade to get up higher, Sam Darnold went from a starter to a bridge in 5 minutes. Like, he still could be the starter this year, but you're also positioning yourself that you may get a quarterback if you trade up, or you can sit back. Does Bo Nix fall to number 23, or is he at 11, I should say?
You can get him at 11.
You can get him at 11.
Will we fall to 23? Will Michael Penix fall to 23?
Is there a quarterback that you like and fall in love with that may be at 11? Like, that's the game. We're still a month and a half away from the NFL draft. We got a long way to go. Speculation, like I told you, I hate it. But that's just what's going to happen, because that's all we're going to hear. But the Minnesota Vikings are positioning themselves right now to make a play for the quarterback position after losing Kirk Cousins.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.